This lady secretly kept away $47,000 from her husband. And the reasoning why is wild. It is wild. But when the husband found out she was secretly keeping away $47,000, all hell broke loose. I'm going to break down this video, in which I found out how the story kind of built up. And I want to hear from you guys whether you guys feel like she stole it, if she feel like she was doing right by having the $47,000 without having her husband involved. So you guys sit back, relax, and we're going to talk about it right now. What's going on, y'all? My name is Terrence Stewart. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. I am licensed in the state of California and Texas, and I am your men's mental health expert. Now, we have a clip here from the internet I'm going to break down, and we're going to talk about it a little bit. And I just want to hear you guys' opinion about this lady secretly keeping away $47,000 away from her husband. All right, so let's get it straight into it.
Am I the asshole for not giving my husband my escape money?
Hold on. First of all, we're gonna talk about oh boy. I love to see black men being happy, but boy wiggling his feet. Boy wiggling his feet. He must be hella happy about something. I don't know what happened prior to, but shout out to you for your happiness and being able to wiggle your feet on the couch. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm glad you are in a good space, brother.
Am I the asshole for not giving my husband my escape money when I saw that we were financially struggling? I'm a 34-year-old female, have recently ran into a situation with my husband, who's a 37-year-old male, and I'm curious about if I am the asshole here or not. So me and my husband have been together for 8 years, married for 7. When I got married, my mother came to me privately and talked about setting aside money as a rainy day escape fund if worse came to worse. My husband has never showed any signs of being dangerous and rarely even gets upset. But the way my mother talked about it, it seemed like a no-brainer to have.
So, what is wild, if you guys caught that, she took advice from her mother to set aside this money for a rainy day, right? But they've been struggling to pay the bills. Now, the mother, is giving advice to the daughter about how to operate in her marriage, which is wild to me. Now, breaking this down a bit, I'm guessing or assuming, because assumption I could be 100% wrong, that the mother, I'm guessing she's not married, nor is she in a healthy relationship to give that type of advice to her daughter. Like, take the money, take the husband's struggling to pay bills. I guess they're both struggling because it's their money, or should be until she takes $47,000 without telling him. But if you guys are struggling, it's wild. I'm just keep getting. I'm getting ahead of myself. We're gonna keep rocking.
When me and my husband, I really don't like that. When my husband and I got together, we agreed I would be a stay-at-home wife. We are both child-free, so that was never a concern. My husband made a comfortable mid-six-figure salary. All was good until about 2 years ago. He was injured at work in a near-fatal accident. Between hospital bills and a lawsuit that we lost that ate up nearly all of our savings, I took a part-time job while my husband was recovering. But when he fully recovered, we transitioned back into me being unemployed as my husband insisted that it was his role to provide. He currently is working 2 full-time jobs and Ubers on his off days to keep us afloat. Here is where I might be the asshole. I do all of the expense management and have continued to put money into my escape account, although I significantly decreased.
And this safe account is, I guess, if something goes wrong, they get divorced, she has some bread stacked away. That's what the mom was suggesting that you do.
From $750 a month to just $200 a month. My husband came home exhausted one night and asked about downsizing because the stress of work was going to kill him.
Stress at work was going to kill him. Mind you, he's working 2 jobs and doing Uber just to make ends meet. 2 jobs, doing Uber on the side just to make ends meet. Now I commend him for doing this. He communicated with his wife, hey, look, babe, I'm burnt out. I am burnt out. And we need to tighten up on something. There has to be some financially sound decisions that needs to be made. in this. While all along, she's putting money into her escape fund. That's what her mom called it. The escape fund, in case you need to escape, right? In case you need to escape, you at least have some money, right? And the way she was able to do this, like as the video says, is she was able to do this by, managing the finances. So it seemed like she was putting away like $750 a month at one point in time, and then was now, I guess, putting only away $200. Mind you, she's not working. Mind you, she's not working. But it seems like this is the mental health component of it all, is that he's expressing he's stressed out. So now he's like, okay, babe, like we need to like cut back on some things, right? But she has all this money stacked away. But let's keep rocking.
I told him downsizing would not be an option, as I had spent many years making our house a home and off.
And she went and told him downsizing is not an option. Mind you, she's tucking away money for herself. So she's pretty much like, nah, we can't do that. We can't do that. Go ahead and burn yourself out, boo. That's what she told her man.
To go back to work. He tried to be nice, but basically told me that me going back to work wouldn't make enough. After an argument, my husband went through our finances to see where we could cut back. He was confused when he saw that I had regular occurring withdrawals leading back years and asked me about it. I broke down and revealed my money to him.
My money,
which now sits at about $47,000.
$47,000 tucking away over the years. Husband burnt out. She doesn't want to downsize nothing. Oh, this is horrible. This is legit probably like one of the worst things I've ever heard.
After I told him all this, he just broke down sobbing. His point of view is that I treated him like a predator and hid money from him for years.
And he was doing everything he's supposed to do, right? And everything he's supposed to do isn't like by societal norms, but it's everything, they agreed upon. Like he goes to work, he brings the money home, she stays home and takes care of whatever else needs to be taken care of. You know what I mean? So like legit, yeah, like that you broke him. You broke that man. Point blank, period.
Even when he was at his lowest. I told him that the money was a precaution I would have taken with any partner and not specific to him. He left the house.
No. It wasn't even, see, that's the thing. Even like her writing this is crazy because it wasn't a precaution that she would have took with any man. It's a precaution that her mother instilled in her to play out. You know what I mean? Like that wasn't an original thought of hers. She wasn't like, hey, in case something happens, I am going to stash away some money because I want to make sure that I'm financially sound. It didn't crack off like that. Like her mom told her like that toxic advice, like, hey, have an escape fund, and this is part of generational trauma as well, too, if you think about it, because if the mom's telling her to do this because something she experienced, and the daughter actually, or his wife has no reason to do that. She's now operating out of her mother's trauma, but now this trauma, it may not be the same exact, is now passed on to her husband because now he's like, well, how am I supposed to trust? Who can I trust if you can't trust your wife? Stashing away all this money while he's going to work, which is wild to me, which is beyond wild to me. Well, let's keep rocking. Let's keep watching the video.
Stay with his brother and said, I heard him on every possible level, but my mom says this is exactly what the money is for and should bail now.
Wow. So let me recap that part. She created this environment. The mother created this environment where the daughter felt like she needed to stash this money. Then the husband finds out that she was stashing, the wife was stashing money. Now he's like, I'm gonna go stay with my brother because, like, this is wild. This is wild. I'm gonna stay with my brother. Now the wife is like, see, that's exactly why I need the money, because now you're going to leave. But yeah, this is like the most toxic thing I've ever heard in my life. In a relationship, it's probably one of like, oh, this beats the cake. What? See, this is now this is the reason why I'm leaving. Let's talk about gaslighting for real, for real. Like, I know some of y'all be like, I'm being gaslit. Stop gaslighting me. Like, no, this is the epitome of gaslighting. This is like by definition, bar for bar, flow for flow, like gaslighting. Let's talk about that for a bit, like mass manipulation. See, this is why I need the money because you're gonna leave because you lied. You've been lying the whole time about, you know, all this stuff, and now they've been struggling financially, things of that nature. And mind you, let me put this back into context. Put this back into context. Being in a marriage, I believe, yeah, you have to share. You guys have to have conversations around income, finances. I'm a firm believer. Like, if you are married, there's only one income in the house. And I'm pretty sure that's what he believed too, as well. And that's why he was like, "Hey, look, I'm gonna go work. You can stay at home," type of thing. There was a point in time where, like, yeah, she had to step in and things of that nature, but she, and I guess this is where the division lies, because now if she's thinking like, "Hey, I need my own money," and he has no money, he's the one. He's the cash flow in the house. You know what I mean? So that's why I say that she stole this money. That she stole this $47,000, because the fact of the matter is, if you guys have one income, right, there has to be a flow, I guess uh, transparent conversation around the money, right? So the fact that she lied about the money brings me to my conclusion that she stole the money. Now, a lot of folks saying, well, it's their money, blah, blah, blah. She can give back. Like, no, like I never heard of this before. And I'm going to bring up the term of money laundering in a marriage. Money laundering in a marriage. Have you ever seen anybody have you ever seen anybody, have you ever seen anybody launder money in a marriage? This is probably the first time I've ever seen this. And again, I'm hot for my brother, man, because this is beyond me. But let's keep watching. Let's keep rocking.
I fucking
I
hate
think that's
them.
messed
I
up.
hate all of them. Anyone like that, I dislike you. I despise you. You shouldn't be married. And that's the problem. Women take advice from battered women and ruin their relationships.
Am I the asshole for not giving?
That's it. You have to stop taking advice from people who are battered, wounded. Sometimes, there are things that folks can give insight on, but you got to be careful on like the toxicity of the advice. Like, the toxicity of the advice can really, really hinder somebody from like taking it like to heart, like this, like, hey, I need to save money because like something's gonna happen, or you know, um, I don't know. This is wild. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. This is a wild, wild story. I'll tell you that much. This is a wild story. But I appreciate y'all for tapping in. I appreciate y'all for watching the video. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, do all that great stuff that keeps these videos going and cracking. And until the next one, my name is Terrence Stewart, men's mental health expert. Y'all take care. Peace.